Now, if I were to ask you which country out of Russia or Ukraine is receiving more Australian funding, you'd of course guess Ukraine. But you'd be wrong. There's a new report by the Centre for Research on Energy and Clean Air that's found that Australia has imported more than $3.7 billion worth of oil products derived from Russian crude since 2023. And this is compared to committing $1.5 billion to help Ukraine. Joining me now is Malcolm Davis from the Australian Strategic Policy Institute. Good to see you again. Now, this report says that this would have handed the Russian government around $1.85 billion in tax revenue. So that's around $350 million more than what Australia has committed to Ukraine. I mean, does this undermine our commitment to be supporting an ally here?
Look, the bottom line is we should not be giving money to Russia, a single cent of money to Russia. You know, it's appalling that this is somehow allowed to happen, in the sense that Russia gains funds from Australia, which it then uses to essentially buy weapons and military technology to attack Ukraine. So at some point, the government has to say this has to stop and clamp down and make sure that not a single cent goes to Russia.
I mean, in a sense, this is a loophole, one that the Albanese government's conveniently overlooked, isn't it?
I think it is probably a loophole that they were completely oblivious to, but to be honest, that's no excuse. When you have a situation as dire as the situation in Ukraine, where Russia is making steady but slow advances, the last thing you want to be doing is for a Western liberal democracy, a key ally of the United States, to be seen to be providing any money to the aggressor Russia. So I think that, yes, it may be a loophole. They may be able to make excuses, but the very first thing they should be doing is shutting down this loophole as fast as possible.
I mean, even putting Ukraine aside, do you think it's concerning that we are so reliant on crude oil from a country like Russia that we can't truly trust or rely on?
Why are we buying crude oil from Russia? I don't understand that, when we have massive energy reserves here in Australia that should be exploited for the needs of Australia. It is absolutely crazy that we rely on overseas energy reserves, be it oil or natural gas or what have you, when we are sort of rich in resources in this country. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that we're not developing our own sovereign resources more deeply, so that we are self-reliant in energy.
This comes back, of course, to the issue with one of the also most disliked ministers in the Albanese government, Chris Bowen, of course. But this conversation to continue another day. Really appreciate your time, Malcolm Davis.